Princess Leia, Part 1. It is a time of both hope and mourning with the rebellion. While on a secret mission to deliver stolen plans for the Death Star to the Rebel Alliance, Princess Leia Organa was captured by the Galactic Empire and forced to witness the battle station's power as it destroyed her home planet of Alderaan. With the help of a farm boy pilot and a fast-talking smuggler, Leia escaped her captors and completed her mission. Using the plans, the Alliance was able to destroy the Empire's ultimate weapon. Having proven themselves a formidable enemy to the Empire, the rebels are in more danger now than ever, leaving them with little time to celebrate their triumph or lament their loss.
Hey Web World, Scotty D, thanks for stopping by to another video here in my comic book series on my channel. If you want to watch all of the rest of the videos in the comic book series, it's real simple to do so. All you have to do is go on over to the main YouTube channel page for my channel, then click on playlist, find comic book collecting, and you're going to find all of the videos associated with the comic book series here on my channel right in that playlist. You want to write me an email? It's real simple to do so, scott@scottydonline.com. You want to follow me over on Twitter? It's easy as well. It's @ScottyDOnline over on Twitter. And if it's not obvious by now, today we are talking Leia. This is the brand new Marvel Star Wars Princess Leia comic book. It just came out. Today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts and my first impressions over this comic book. This is the standard cover right here. We'll get to that in just a second. I did pick up two other variant covers to the standard cover while I was picking up the standard cover. The first one here is the blank cover variant. It's not exciting as it sits right now, but the reason why I pick up blank cover variants now, if they are available, is that I can commission a artist to do a one-of-a-kind cover for me if I ever choose to do so. And there are some great artists out there that I might run into and say, hey, look, would you mind if I commission you to do a one-of-a-kind cover for me here on my blank cover variant? And of course, if the price is right, they would do it, and then I would have that one-of-a-kind in my collection. So that's a reason why, if even you don't collect Star Wars and the comic book that you collect offers a blank cover variant, maybe a reason why you want to add a blank cover variant into your collection. The material that they make the cover of is different than a standard cover. It's very heavyweight paper so that it can take on artwork very, very nicely without damaging the comic within. So it's that same material on the front as it is on the back. So that's the blank cover variant right there. This one happens to be from my all-time favorite variant cover artist out in the industry. And he's not exclusive to Star Wars comics. He does comic variants for many other comic book series out there, as well as standard artwork for galleries. This is the Alex Ross art cover variant. And what's really nice about this cover, if you're not familiar with Alex Ross, all of his covers for comic books start out as physical, hand-drawn and hand-colored artwork. So this is a painting first, then converted over to a comic book cover. That is impressive because it's done all by hand. I respect the work he does. It's done very classy, very nicely done. This is the Alex Ross blank cover variant for the Princess Leia #1 comic book. You can see right over here, the Marvel #1, and it says variant edition. This is the Alex Ross cover right here. Let's jump right into the review. Let's get this so it's not falling down. Here is the standard cover, as I mentioned. This is book 1 of 5. This is going to be a mini-series of Princess Leia. This one is written by Mark Waid, and the artwork in this book is by Terry and Rachel Dodson, and the color is done by Jordi Bellari. So there you have it right there. Now we start this mini-series in a very familiar moment at the end of episode 4, A New Hope, at the awards ceremony. And I thought that that was a nice way to start this book because it's canon. And I was wondering when they said that Princess Leia was going to come out, where it might fall in between movies. Because it has to fit somewhere in the timeline. And this one is immediately at the moment of the award ceremony at the end of episode 4, A New Hope, when Leia is placing the medals of appreciation on Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. You have Chewbacca also getting an award, and you have R2 and 3PO there on stage, and some other dignitaries on stage. That's where this book starts off at. And if you've ever wondered if there were words exchanged on the stage, because in the movie it's very quiet. They look at each other. There's no words being transmitted between the characters. But you always wondered, do they say anything? At least I've always wondered that. And now we know that there were words exchanged on the stage. This book shows you what the camera didn't show. And there's a strange royal general giving orders to the rebels at the awards ceremony. And this is General Dodonna, and he makes an appearance in this. And Luke is still making things weird. And while we know, based on history, that Luke and Leia are brother and sister, at this point in time in the storyline, they still don't know. And there's that weird trifecta between Luke, Han, and Leia. You think Luke's going after Leia. You think Han's going after Leia. Leia's being stern in the way that she's been. And it's just a weird moment. And it's interesting that they didn't move on and try to change that. And they see that playing out here in this comic book. So I thought it was quite interesting in my opinion. Right after that award ceremony and those words from General Dodonna, it's a jump cut. It's like, boom, we're on to the next scene, because we have 4 other books besides this to get the story told. So there's a jump cut right to a scene that it looks like it's an evacuation. And it's obvious that it's sometime later after the ceremony. I don't know exactly how long after the ceremony that jump cut is to kind of resemble, but Leia is dressed differently. Her hair is done differently. And it's just really, really interesting that jump cut happened, because I was wondering what was going to happen in the next page after the ceremony, and it was like, wow, where'd the ceremony go? Oh, we're already leaving? Okay. And then we see General Akbar make an appearance right in that kind of escape series of cells in the comic book. And there are a lot of people out there that are like, General Akbar is in here talking to Leia, and how's that even possible? Well, remember, the canon is slowly being rewritten in some way, shape, or form. The EU doesn't exist anymore, so you have to take the book for what it is. That's the only way that I can say that it will keep your sanity from being angry at the EU being abolished and maybe some of the things that we think we knew, but it was our own interpretation versus what was told in a story. So now we know that Akbar is working with the royals in the Senate. Now, in the upcoming pages, I really enjoyed the reference to Mon Mothma, as this is a great tie-in to an important canonical character that played out a huge role, not only in the canonical, but also in the expanded universe. It made a lot of appearances in the original Marvel Star Wars comics from the 70s and 80s, and some words of advice are given from the general to Leia while he multitasks to find a new rebel base. Now, Leia tries to help the general find a new location, but the general informs Leia that there's a bounty out on her, and that's the reason why he doesn't want her getting involved. It's very interesting and an obvious take on how this miniseries may see itself play out in the following 4 books. So I thought that was quite interesting. We meet a new rebel pilot named Evan in this book. This is during the Escape series. She's a little upset at the princess, obviously. She thinks that the princess has not mourned the death of her father and mother and the Alderaanians when the Death Star blew up Alderaan. But there's the tension is at a royal level. And I don't want to spoil too much for you, but it's at a royal level that the tension is between Evan and Leia. Very, very interesting to see how that plays out in the coming books as well. Now, the interesting thing is that there are surviving Alderaanians aside from Princess Leia. So we'll see how that plans out in this book, because this is where the Imperial forces are trying to hunt down and find any of the Alderaanians that were not on the planet. They're going to hunt them down and take them, destroy them from the Star Wars universe. They don't want them around in existence. So that is a key point to the next section, where Leia seems to be using R2-D2 to deliver a message to General Dodson, in much the same way that she delivered a message to Obi-Wan in Episode 4 using R2-D2. And it's interesting because R2 has a trick up his sleeve. I don't know, was R2 a boy or a girl? I guess I never really thought about that. What is R2? It's it's a droid, okay? So it doesn't matter what it is. But R2's got a sleeve up, a trick up its sleeve, to the point where General Dodson is really flustered both with Leia and R2 at the end of that portion of this comic book. And there's a message that shows up on the computer while Leia is in danger of initiating a self-proclaimed mission. And I did translate this mission and or this message, and it says I've got a bad feeling about this. So what you see here on the screen says I've got a bad feeling about this. That's what it's translated on the screen. And I thought the boxing maneuver of the X-Wings is an interesting way to stop Leia, or at least try to. You're not going to stop Leia, as if. Try. She will get out of whatever mess that she's in. And I'm not quite sure how to feel how they drew Leia in this book yet. There's some very strong inconsistencies between how she looks from the image to image, between page and page in this book. And I just didn't know how to feel about the drawing yet. We're going to have to see if it gets more consistent in book 2, 3, 4, and 5. But in this book, the image likeness of Leia seems to change just ever so different from every time we see her in this book. So I'm not quite sure on how to feel about that. Now, we've only got a few more weeks before book 2 is out. It's set to hit the stands on March the 18th, 2015. My final thoughts around this book is this. Should you get it? Yes. Because if nothing more, then it's canon, and I'm a firm believer that all of these brand new Star Wars books that are out now are going to tie together in some way, shape, or form. Albeit this one, Leia is on a mission on her own with Evan. In the Star Wars series, Leia is on a mission with Han and Luke. And in the Vader series, we're seeing that tie in directly to the Star Wars series. So I'm not quite sure how these all play out as far as the timeline goes. I'm going to be paying very close attention to that and looking out for inconsistencies as the books progress and are released with further numbers in the series. So this one right here is the Marvel Star Wars Princess Leia #1. Get it in your pull list if you haven't got it already. The next one set to hit the stage March the 18th, 2015. And I'd love to hear your comments on this one. Let me know what you think of this one. I thought, it's okay. I like how they continued it from the awards ceremony, but it's, other than, we don't know where the story's going to go, and we don't know how it fits into the mission that's in the brand new Marvel Star Wars comic book. It left me a little confused, but wanting more. I want to know what's going to happen in 2 weeks when the next book is out for this series. So this one, Marvel Star Wars Princess Leia, get it in your pull list. If for any other reason, but it's canon, and you're going to want to pay very close attention to all of the canonical storylines to be up to speed on what we might see come December in Episode 7. So if you want to write me an email, it's real simple to do so, scott@scottydonline.com. You want to follow me over on Twitter, it's real simple to do, @ScottyDOnline over on Twitter. Don't forget to like this video, comment below. I'd love to hear your comments, read your comments on this comic itself. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. And if you have already subscribed to my channel, thank you so very, very much. Until the next video on my channel, whether it be the comic book series or anything else, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. May the Force be with you.